The situation on the Ukrainian frontline appears increasingly dire according to recent battlefield accounts. Ukrainian forces reportedly endure one of their deadliest periods in recent memory, facing over 200 clashes across the front, as Russian forces unleash a barrage of 3,700 artillery shells, waves of missiles, and 4,400 drones. Kyiv confirmed the sky was a major threat, stating 251 of its own drones were destroyed in a single day. Key towns like Pokrovsk reeled under relentless glide bomb attacks while Russian troops tightened their grips in the Zaporizhzhia region. Despite the pressure, Ukraine demonstrated its ability to strike back, hitting multiple Russian troops' hubs deep behind enemy lines. These reports of intense combat come alongside troubling testimony from within the Ukrainian military. A captured Ukrainian soldier described a scene of deteriorating discipline on the front, citing widespread issues like looting and bribery among units. Ukrainian commanders have separately admitted to severe manpower shortage and an inability to mount advances against unrelenting Russian pressure, with some troops on the Eastern Front expressing distrust and exhaustion regarding proposed peace talks from Kyiv. On the international stage, diplomatic and military support efforts continue amidst visible strains. NATO member countries gathering in Brussels pledged to purchase hundreds of millions of dollars worth of US-made weapons for Ukraine, including critical interceptor for air defense systems. The meeting also discussed the US peace plan following the inconclusive talks in Moscow. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte emphasized that the alliance would continue to support Ukraine regardless of the outcome of the US peace initiative. However, he faced difficult questions about the future of aid if the United States, under President Trump, decided to reduce or halt its support, struggling to provide a definitive answer on what would come next. This uncertainty hangs over the alliance as Europe warns that Putin's strategy may be to simply outlast Western resolve. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, during a visit to Dublin, received a mixed public reaction, with some showing solidarity and others criticizing him over corruptions and the war's toll, highlighting the complex political landscapes even among supportive nations. A significant shift in European policy emerged as the European Union announced a provisional deal to completely phase out Russian gas imports by 2027. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen hailed the move as the start of full European energy independence, noting that payments to Russia had already fallen dramatically. The plan mandates halting Russian gas imports by 2026 and ending long-term contract by late 2027. However, this historic decision exposed sharp internal division. Hungary and Slovakia, which rely heavily on Russian supplies via the Druzhba pipeline, sharply criticized the move. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico argued the decision harms Slovakia's economy and violate EU principles by using a qualified majority vote to sidestep their oppositions. Both nations have threatened legal actions, creating fresh tensions within the bloc and underscoring the ongoing challenges of maintaining a united front against Moscow. Further complicating the European response are growing bilateral tensions, particularly with Poland. Polish President Karol Nawrocki escalated a dispute with Kyiv during a visit to the crucial Zaporizhzhia logistic hub, through which a vast amount of Western military aid flows into Ukraine. He publicly urged President Zelensky to express gratitude for Poland's extensive support and demanded more symmetry in their bilateral relations. This sentiment reflects a broader Polish complaint that it bears the heaviest logistical burden in supporting Ukraine while being excluded from top-level decision-making on the war's direction. Separately, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk acknowledged that both Washington and Moscow would prefer Poland not to be involved in Ukraine peace format, revealing a rift within NATO as the conflict enters a potentially decisive phase. Amid this challenge, the European Union proposed a controversial new financial mechanism to support Ukraine's economy and war efforts. The plan, championed by Ursula von der Leyen, involves using frozen Russian state assets as collateral to raise a reparations-linked loan of approximately 140 billion euro for Kyiv. EU officials insist the proposal is legally sound and essential to cover Ukraine's financial needs for 2026-2027. However, it has faced immediate and strong rejections from Belgium, where a significant portion of these assets are held. Belgian Foreign Minister Maxime Prevot criticized the scheme as the worst of all options, warning it exposed his country to unprecedented financial, legal, and economic risk. Belgium insists the EU should instead borrow money on international markets, arguing member states should not bear the risk alone. This dispute highlights the difficult trade-off and division within Europe as it seeks sustainable ways to fund Ukraine's long-term resistance. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. With Ukraine reporting one of its deadliest days, internal discipline issues emerging, and key European nations like Poland openly feuding, while Hungary and Slovakia rebel against the EU gas ban, can Western support for Ukraine remain politically sustainable over the short term and even long term, and why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate your support. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Like the video, share this video with friends and family, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.